What's up, guys? Christopher VK here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on Chapter 294 of My Hero Academia. Now, I know I have been gone for over 2 months now. I really don't like the fact that I've been gone this long. But, yeah, a lot of stuff's happened. Got a copyright strike on the My Hero Academia video with Bakugo Rising, and stuff happened, so, yeah, I really don't like the fact that that happened. So I've been off the grid in terms of manga reviews, and I've been slowly bringing out videos again, and only recently I've been doing weekly uploads. So let's see how things progress from here on out. So Chapter 2, so what happens recently was, Deku confronting Shigaraki and All For One in the world of One For All. We get Nana and the first user of One For All basically pushing Shigaraki and All For One out of the mindscape, essentially, and Shigaraki being more or less unconscious. We get Bakugo's essentially sacrifice of Deku back in 285, Deku going berserk. We see a lot of stuff going on. We got the freaking reveal that Dabi was Toya, something that everyone expected, but the way that it was done was freaking insane, and he has been doing a lot of great stuff. And I really wish I had followed through and did a video right off the bat about Dabi and as Toya Todoroki and everything. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on. Not to mention, Lemillion is back. Mirio just came back. And we got the freaking confirmation that Eri actually managed to rewind Mirio to the point where his quirk was, before it was erased. In all honesty, I was kind of hoping that they kind of did something without Eri for Mirio to come back. But even still, I'm glad Mirio's back because he was pretty much the deciding factor in everything. There's also the fact that Best Jeanist is been officially confirmed to be alive. We all had theories that Best Jeanist was not, in fact, dead, but was secretly alive and recuperating somewhere else. And he is holding down the league and Gigantomachia. And in the last chapter, at the end of the last chapter, Endeavor pulled all his strength together, managed to hit Machia, and he was knocked out, and it was revealed, finally, the sedative that Momo used all those chapters ago finally freaking worked. They exhausted Machia enough for the sedative to work. So yeah, with that 2-3 minute intro recap thing done, we are back. Chapter 294. We start off with one page showing the casualties of the war, with all the heroes. Obviously, Cross is dead. We saw Aizawa being treated. Mirko, pretty much, it looks like in the ICU also. We see injured Gran Torino and Ryukyu, and even Hawks is unconscious. And then we see, essentially everyone is fighting off all the Nomu. Bakugo, Nejire, Lemillion, and Ida. And one thing I love, the fact that Bakugo's hero name was revealed last chapter, was the Great Explosion Murder God, Dynamite. And that's might like All Might. So, I believe that was an actual translation. Which it's so Bakugo. I just feel like, shorten it to Dynamite. That is the perfect hero name. Dynamite's just the perfect hero name. Just the Great Explosion Murder God is just a fucking mouthful. And also, not exactly the best name for a hero. But yeah. So everyone charges against all the Nomu that ended up coming to assist Shigaraki and Gigantomachia. Lemillion's fighting off one that looks like a Cyclops. And he mentions that these high-end Nomu are similar in strength to the one in Kyushu, which was essentially Hood. I find that hard to believe, but then again, it's Lemillion we're talking about. He is freaking strong. But yeah, a lot of stuff's happening, and then that Mr. Compress, this is his chapter. It's his moment. He's the only member of the League of Villains that did not get a real moment or a backstory within the last couple of arcs. Because we got Spinner, we got Dabi, we got Toga, obviously Shigaraki, and twice. We got everyone in the last couple of chapters getting their origin stories. This was Mr. Compress. This was his moment. So you see Shigaraki as the future, the League of Villains and stuff like that. He has a lot of dialogue. This is not over for them yet. This is basically everything has been said. So as Best Jeanist constrains them all together, and Mr. Compress cannot use his quirk due to the fact that how his hands were bound, he comes up with this last-ditch effort. He uses his quirk on the side of his body to compress that part, take up a huge chunk of his skin, and then escape. Give him enough room to escape. Turn Shigaraki and Spinner into marbles, and then maneuvering through everything. And he even says, you heroes are not the only ones that are doing something that you believe is righteous. That is right. And then he climbs off Gigantomachia, proclaims that, and then we get it. It's hard to say. I gotta read this through. Hold on. Alright. So, for one, he passes by Skeptic. I don't know if he turns him into anything, but I think he just frees him. So, we then get this nice little backstory for him. Ojiro Hama, the peerless thief, a criminal from days gone by. Just when the current system began settling into place, Harima targeted the fattened pockets of sham heroes and took their wealth and distributed it to the poor. So a Robin Hood type character. And it wasn't until I was realized that when I was rewatching Season 4 of My Hero Academia that this guy was actually mentioned back in the Gentle Criminal arc by Gentle Criminal alongside All For One and Destro. So this is really good. So we had a Robin Hood figure back when Hero Society essentially started, and it seems that there were in fact corrupt heroes at the start of the system, as a lot of people will probably be thought of. So Ojiro Hama was a master thief who basically stole money from the rich and gave it to the poor, specifically the sham heroes. So this could help play in. This also shows how Mr. Compress came to the League of Villains at this point because of Stain's ideology. Combine that with how his family basically drilled into his fact that, okay, we also had his real name revealed, Atsuhiro. Okay, that's a good name. Atsuhiro Harima. So, essentially, his family basically drilled into his head that their lineage essentially sticks up for injustice and stuff like that. So that's essentially why he joined the League of Villains. Along with Stain's ideology, it resonated with his family's motto. We then get the clash between Toya and Shoto again, and they both do Flash Fire Fist, and then damn it! I'm really sorry. Something's wrong with me today. Man, that was really, really bad. I hope you guys skipped that. I'm sorry. It's been a while. So Toya ends up using Jet Burn and says that there's no point in him killing Todoroki right now because Endeavor is freaking unconscious. So he blasts Shoto back, and Mr. Compress shows up and tells Dabi to go with him. And what happens next is, as hold on, I believe he turns Dabi into a marble as well. And as Gina says that the marks on him are fatal, he climbs up and says that this is essentially his best trick yet, the grand finale, as he removes his mask and we see his face, letting out Toya, Spinner, and Shigaraki, saying this is the last performance of Mr. Compress, and the League is free. So yeah, that was an awesome chapter. I really do enjoy that we finally got all the League of Villains finally getting their backstories told, their history, and their motivations. It makes complete sense why Mr. Compress joined the League of Villains. His ancestor, his great-grandfather, was Ojiro Hanma, a master thief that stole from corrupt heroes and gave their money to the poor and those unfortunate. So he was one of the earliest terms of a vigilante, despite him essentially stealing from heroes. Which also plays in the fact that since his family lineage basically told him, our family stands up for injustice, just like our ancestor did. We will take down the corrupt heroes and stuff like that. And then seeing Stain and his ideology, that video about Stain and the connection to the League of Villains, he's like, this is my chance. I will make my family proud. And that's what I think is going on. So it'll make complete sense why he joined the League of Villains due to Stain's ideology. But what happens next is beyond me, because Makia's down, but Shigaraki is free, and if he's still completely conscious, things are not going to end well. Things are not going to end well. So this arc has been freaking amazing. This is the longest arc in My Hero Academia right now, and the best part, it's just been a freaking roller coaster. The heroes had the upper hand, then Shigaraki wakes up, and things go back in the villain's favor due to Gigantomachia waking up. And then all the high-end nobles and Shigaraki using the K. The heroes are basically on the back foot. Shigaraki uses all his quirks, fights Deku. It's a back and forth, which I really do like because this is essentially a war arc, and what a lot of war arcs are supposed to do is give you the sense of anybody could win. You want the heroes to win, but you have so many unaccounted variables, it'll freaking be insanity if one side wins over the other, no matter which it was. It's hard to believe which one will win. Everyone believes the heroes will lose, and this chapter makes it completely clear that the heroes might actually lose because Shigaraki's free. But Toga hasn't showed up yet, and if she has some of Twice's blood, she can ingest it, copy his quirk, and then use Sandman's parade, and then get everyone out of there so they can recuperate. And the sad part is, the League members might actually end up losing 2 members in this war arc. We already lost Twice, but Mr. Compress, he gouged out a piece of his flesh, and they're fatal wounds. That's what Best Genius said that, and Compress knows it. So Compress might actually end up dying in this arc right now. Meanwhile, all the heroes have, none of the people that we care about, none of the main characters we care about, Mirko Aizawa, Gran Torino, now Ryukyu, and Hawks, they're not dead. They're critically injured, but they're not dead. So this is going to be an interesting ending, because this has to end within the next 10 to 20 chapters. I see it ending within 10 or 20 chapters with how things are progressing, because there's still a lot of stuff going on. So, time skip. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a time skip. I have a feeling that with how Chainsaw Man ended with part 1, I think My Hero Academia could end at the end of this arc as like part 1 or just the end of My Hero Academia, and Horikoshi start an entirely new series as a continuation, branded something completely different, and then follow the story of Deku and everybody as they are pro heroes trying to take back Japan from the League and the Paranormal Liberation Front. But this is all just purely speculation. There's no real guarantee on what will happen next. But either way, this is honestly the best arc of My Hero Academia in my opinion, because it is a freaking roller coaster, like I said, and we're going to be losing 2 fan favorite characters in a single arc. We might even lose more depending on what happens when Shigaraki actually ends up using the K again. But with all that said and done, hope you guys enjoyed this review, aside from a little spitting take or whatever I did in the middle when I was talking about Toya and Shoto. So I will be sure not to do that again. But yeah, I will be starting to do my reviews again, hopefully this coming weeks. I really hope I can do these reviews way more often than I did previously. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen next? And do you think anyone else is going to die from the villain's side? And also, what do you think will happen after the end of this arc? Leave it down in the comments down below. And don't forget, have an awesome day.